Hello there.
How you doing, you old fire? So good to see you.
Oh, switch off.
Everything's under control. Situation normal.
We would be honored if you would join us.
I like that part. And it's like,
You know
That's
what
the
the
best part.
beauty is about not recording in the same room?
no.
I'm not wearing pants right now. It's great. It's like
Okay.
the perks of living alone, right? You can like walk around just like Donald Duck it. Watch
You're like-
Revenge of the Sith.
You're like Porky Pigging it right now?
Yeah. No, Porky
you-
Pig is naked.
So is Donald Duck.
I'm like SpongeBob SquarePants in it. Wait, no.
He literally wears pants, square pants, but they're still pants.
I'm grandpa in it. I'm walking around just my underwear, watching Revenge of the Sith. It's great. It's a great time. And a flannel.
Vile. That's just sounds vile.
Well, you're listening to the Wampa Diaries. I'm your host, Nick Heinzman, joined as always by the less than vile other side of the coin, the other host of this lovely show, Richie DeRivo.
Daiwanawanga.
All right, Rich. So I would like to start this episode right off the top and say that Crimson Jack was apparently a Legends character before the show even existed. I'll be honest, I didn't do any other research outside of like getting called out on TikTok and then looking it up and being like, oh yeah, he's actually a ginger man. Not Jude Law, so that might put my theory of Crimson Dawn out on its ass. We don't know. We're only on our 4th episode.
Like, he was a Legends character, but they've reused like names and characters and stuff like that before, so it's not to say that like they can't do it again,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I'd still like to see that theory come to fruition, but I guess again, we're only on episode 4. I will say right off the top, I think this was kind of one of my...
least favorites, right?
Yeah, it really didn't do anything for me.
Yeah, me either.
I can understand why it is an important episode, right? Because it builds trust back up to Judd or Judwananu for the kids, right? Like he buys them back from the warlords. He saves Neil
But
from
then
SM-33.
At the end, but I was confused because like I thought for a minute when he was like, that he was gonna like trade those animals for the kids, like the other people would have wanted the kids for some reason, and he was like double crossing them.
No, I think he gave them the animals back.
He gave them back to the people the kids were with, but the clan that he was with, I thought it was going in the direction that like he was getting them. Like, why did that clan be okay with giving up those animals for those kids? Isn't he double crossing them, or am I like super confused?
No, I don't know. I think like they really didn't explain that too much. So I imagine we'll see that in episode 5 because we're still at Atchin. So I would hope that they don't just leave that plot line untied, but it's Disney, so like,
Well, they like can't. They didn't regroup with that other clan either. So like,
right, and that's what I'm saying. So maybe they're gonna regroup in episode 5.
yeah. So okay, so they thought they were going to At-Atin, and instead they went to Atchin. There's apparently a bunch of At planets, right?
Right. Well, I think all the At planets are the crown jewel of the Old Republic, right?
Yeah,
Did I
but
pick
like,
that up? Right.
what do you like? They're all identical, or at least this one's identical to the other one, but it's all fucked up, right? Like the house is there, that girl's house is there, but it's all fucked up.
Yeah, it's like her exact fucking house.
That's what I'm saying. And
Right.
like the school is there, like it's the same exact planet, but all messed up. So like, what do you think
What I
is
think
going on
happened
here?
Oh, it's
Yeah.
going on here. I think that they essentially destroyed the other 7, right? And they put all of their chips on Ad-Atten for whatever reason, right? Maybe Ad-Atten was the most mineral rich, or it was like had the better analysts, right? Or it was just a clerical error where they forgot to destroy the last one.
Like a data entry error.
Yeah, like that would be fucking hysterical.
Yeah, but my question is like, why are these worlds exactly the same?
Oh, easy, because it's a farming planet. 100%. Not like a farming and like agricultural. Like it's where money. Think of it like a Bitcoin operation. It's the exact
Like a
same
McDonald's? Like
No,
building
no,
McDonald's?
no, like-
They're all the same inside?
If you want to put it in such layman terms, yeah. I mean, I'm thinking of it from like a financial standpoint, where like, if one bank works because it has a certain layout, why not make the
Right,
other
same thing.
7? Yeah,
like
it's
a
the exact
business.
same thing.
Like these planets were all functioning like a business. Like the inside of every TD bank looks the same inside and is set up the same way. So you're saying they built all of these places identically because like they had some purpose.
Yeah.
Or were these planets like the intergalactic Fed or something like that?
I don't know.
I'm like lost at this point in the show.
I think that like, I don't
There's
disagree
too
with you.
much. There's like too much mystery. I don't like shows like this.
There's too much world building. We only have 8 episodes. So we only have 3 episodes left. Or is it 9? Is it 8 or 9? Do you remember?
I think it was 8.
I mean, the next episode, they better get back to fucking Ad-Atten, and we need to see some real world consequences of like showing out outsiders where Ad-Atten is. Also, the other plot line of like, who the fuck is the captain that SM-33 was with? Because clearly he's on Ad-Atten, or was on Ad-Atten at one point or another.
Well, SM-33 was because they found him there.
Right, but I don't think that SM-33 would have gotten there by himself.
I mean, we thought that Jude, what's this guy's name? The character's name?
Just call him Crimson Jack.
Crimson Jack. Like, we thought he was the captain from the beginning of the show. But isn't it confirmed that he is?
No, not for this. Not for the ship. He's the captain of Brutus's old ship, or Brutus's ship. The
Yeah,
werewolf.
but
guy.
Brutus was part of his crew. We saw that.
Yeah, but it's not the same ship that was on Ad-Atten.
Oh, it's not?
No. There's no way.
Well, then maybe SM-33 was like marooned there.
Maybe. I mean, I think that him and the captain like crash landed on Ad-Atten, and like maybe he died on it. Right? Because like, let's talk about the ending. SM-33 said that he massacred everybody that knew where Ad-Atten was. So it's possible that one of those bodies was the captain's. Like the one that was on the ground.
All the dead bodies in the ship.
Yeah. Very likely. Very likely. I don't know. I agree. I am kind of lost. There's been too many plot lines put into this show very
There's a lot of
quickly.
like mystery in this show.
I'm worried.
I don't
right?
like not like it. It's not making me
No.
not like it, but like, do you need to like drink a fucking glass of water? Like you come on this thing like fucking General Grievous every fucking week. I've never seen someone cough like you.
I don't know what to tell you. I'm
Fuck
sorry.
is wrong with you?
I don't know. I'm taking fucking cough medicine. It's a whole thing. I don't know. It's bizarre. I don't know, man. Like, I'm worried that we're running into the same issue that we ran into with other Disney shows, right? And what I mean by that is we're going to get all this information and it's not going to be tied up in a neat fashion. And it's going to be essentially like, well, we're going to get a season 2 and look how well that worked out for The Acolyte, right? Like there were so many things left open for that show. You didn't finish it, so it's whatever.
Well, I know what happened. I mean, like,
Right. So like there's all
that's
this
their
shit that
fuck
was
up.
left open that we'll never know about.
I don't think this was ever planned for a season 2. They greenlit season 2 of Acolyte before season 1 even dropped, which was their first fucking mistake. Was greenlighting it and announcing it before the show even dropped, because I don't know how they thought anyone was gonna like that fucking show.
Let's look at this, the reception of this, right? I mean, everyone that I've talked to really enjoys this show. I'm pretty sure that everyone that you've talked to also enjoys this show. Now, obviously, there's, people like some of our mutual friends like, well, this isn't for us, this is for kids, and they won't watch it, right? But if you look at true Star Wars fans, everyone's really liking it.
I haven't seen any negative feedback on this show except from the people that will only ever provide negative feedback. Like, there's YouTubers out there that, like, they could re-release The Empire Strikes Back in theaters, not change a thing, and they'll find something to complain about. They're just like the rage baiters. Like, those people are gonna, like, say nothing good no matter what, because, like, that's how they make their living of drama. But, like, any of the respectable influencers or whatever you want to say, like, haven't said anything like negative that I've seen. It's only the people that consistently want to trash Star Wars or anything, right? Because, like, they're going to say something negative no matter what it is. Or even if it's good, they're going to be like, oh, it's good, but this is what's going to happen, and this and that, and then it'll never happen, and they'll never bring it up because they can't face when they're wrong. So, like, but the general consensus around this show is that people like it. Like, you don't see the disdain like the way you did with Acolyte, or like you go onto a Facebook post and like half the people hate it, and half the people are like, oh yeah, it's good or it's okay. Most people are giving positive feedback.
And I think that's where I'm getting at, right? It's like this show already has, within the first 2 episodes, people are like, oh my God, this is great, right? Like the overall response was a good one. And this is something that Star Wars hasn't had in like a long time. You don't need to come into the show knowing anything about Star Wars to enjoy it, right?
Yeah.
Acolyte you did, Ahsoka you did, Obi-Wan you can kind of get away with. But this is like a new, I don't want to say a new introduction to Star Wars, but in a way it kind of is. And I think that's kind of what separates this from everything else, to the point where, because of it's such a positive spin or a positive reception of it, I would be shocked from a business standpoint if we did not get a second season of this. What they would do, obviously, I don't rightly know because the season's not over yet, but I think that this is a grand slam for Disney because it's bringing in so many new viewers.
How do you know it's bringing in new viewers?
I mean, look at all of the comments on Facebook. There's people that are literally commenting like, oh, I've never seen Star Wars before, but this is great.
I think it's going to happen with anything they put out. Like, someone's going to be new to it.
Yeah, but I mean,
there's like, where's the data that this is like creating Star Wars fans?
I'll have to do some research.
Like, and I don't even think that's relevant. I don't know if it matters. Like, what if you were introducing someone to Star Wars, you're going to show them Skeleton Crew?
Well, no. I'm not saying if I was introducing someone to Star Wars, I'm going to put that on. But if I'm like a parent on Disney Plus and I see this and like my kid wants to watch Star Wars, that I look at Neo, I'm like, oh, it's a cute little elephant boy. Like, how bad could this show be? And I'm going to put it on for my kid without ever seeing anything about Star Wars. Not everyone is as obsessed with Star Wars as we are.
I realize that, but I don't think that people are going to go to the Star Wars section of Disney Plus to find something to watch for their kids if they don't like Star Wars.
No, you're misunderstanding.
I'm missing your point entirely.
I'm saying, people that are going on Disney Plus, just like logging into the home screen, that's the first thing they see because Disney's pushing this content, right? I'm saying that there's a chance of this being a very large introductory course into the Star Wars universe. And it's not like, obviously, it's not what I would put on if my friends wanted to watch Star Wars for the first time. But at the same time, like, who knows?
Okay.
Who knows?
All right. I don't know if it's a good introductory course to Star Wars. It doesn't teach you anything about like the lore or the galaxy. It does like the opposite of that. It keeps you wondering like what the fuck is going on. Like I'm wondering if at Aten, at Atchin, all these like different planets is just one planet that they're seeing at different points in time. Like world between worlds shit. Because they keep talking about the world between worlds, and they brought it in Rebels, and then it was in Ahsoka, and there's been rumors flying around that it's gonna be involved in Dave Filoni's project, and I'm not gonna go as far as to be like they're gonna erase episodes 7, 8, and 9 with the world between worlds. They're not gonna fucking do that. They're not gonna self-sabotage and be like, 7, 8, and 9 don't matter anymore. They're not gonna do that. They're not gonna do that.
Hear me out, because we're seeing that in Marvel right now.
I don't know anything about that fucked up franchise.
Well, that's what I'm telling you, is like they're actively going to be rebooting the entire MCU. Like, it is a known fact.
Maybe they should just stop making the fucking content like they should have done after fucking Endgame. It should have just it should have ended that day.
The day the Iron Man died.
Yeah.
But listen, they're actively doing that, right? And like the crazy part is the way that they're doing it. A lot of fans are like,
is this with Robert Downey Jr. being Doctor Doom?
Yeah. And a lot of fans are like, holy shit, like this is insane. This is going to be great. But now they have the rights to the mutants. They have the rights to the Fantastic Four. Like they have everyone together. So they're rebooting it as it is. That's neither here nor there. But, I don't.
Is this even true?
Yeah, dude. Like, I don't see it out of the realm of possibility that Dave Filoni is, when he gets handed the keys to the Golden Kingdom.
He's not going to reboot the whole franchise. First of all, that would require so much. Number one, there's so many things to address here. Number one, nobody's saying Dave Filoni is going to get handed the keys to the castle. Like, he's creative director right now. We've talked about this before. Becoming president of Lucasfilm is a totally different type of position. That's a business position. Dave Filoni is not. I mean, I don't know Dave Filoni, right? But Dave Filoni is a creative on the team. That's why he's in that position. He's not a business person. Like the president of Lucasfilm's job is to like deliver on fucking budget. That's their job, to deliver budget and net profit. That's their fucking job. Dave Filoni doesn't know anything about running a business. And that's what the president of Lucasfilm's job is to run the business, right? The issue is that fucking Aunt Kathy has gotten involved in the creative process when she should just stay on the business side of meeting numbers and leave the creative people up to how do we achieve these numbers. And then she's just responsible for whether the ship sails or sinks.
And the crazy part is, if you look at Aunt Kathy's track record of just producing, all of the movies she's attached to, for the most part, are fucking blockbusters.
Her resume.
Her resume.
Yeah.
Like,
she's
as long as she's not touching creative, she's great at business. She's just not.
Yeah, historically. Yeah, unless somebody knows something we don't know, and people will probably claim they do, but like, she's produced some of the most successful films in film history.
Right.
Like, she's the most powerful woman in Hollywood. Hands down.
Yeah,
she's
without a doubt.
Woman, if not person, in like Hollywood.
Yeah,
like,
there's no
E.T.,
no
Jurassic Park, like all of that
Raiders,
shit. Raiders,
Holy
like
Grail, like
all of it. Like, the issue with Lucasfilm is that she's gotten her hands in the creative process and fucked it all up, right? But anyway, Dave Filoni, I'd be very shocked if he were offered that position. If he were offered that position, he'd have to have somebody, like, from a business standpoint, he'd have to have, like, a VP. He'd have to have somebody who, like, works directly for him doing that job, because they want to put him in the position of president as the face because he's Dave Filoni. That's the only way I would think that would work was, okay, Dave's going to be president. we're going to bring on a vice president who's going to do the work of the president while Dave is
Favreau.
really the face. Who?
Favreau.
I don't know if he is on. Has he produced?
Yeah, he produced pretty much all of the Iron Man movies. He single-handedly brought back the MCU.
As a producer or a director?
As a producer, a writer, and a director. Pretty sure he did all of it.
Okay, so then he may have the things to do that. But do you think either of them want that job?
I don't know.
Who would want it? Like, I wouldn't want that fucking job.
No one would want that job, but at the same time, like, if Disney wants to keep this ship float sailing, right? It's outside of this show. What content are you excited about?
Ahsoka
video
season
games?
2.
Even that.
Even that
Like,
what?
I'm excited for it, but at the same time, like, we have no. When is it supposed to come out? Do we even know?
2026. It's coming out the same year as Dave Filoni's movie because they're tying it together. The only thing coming out next year is Andor season 2.
Which I don't care about.
I don't care about it either.
I have no interest in that character whatsoever.
I don't either.
And
I
now,
didn't
listen,
really
I know
like
that
the
there's-
first one.
Right. And I know listeners, I know people that are listening to the show like it. There are certain people like this, you know.
Well,
that are
people
listening
love
to the
it.
show. I know.
And I'm
I
not
don't
saying
get
it's
it.
bad. I'm
just-
not going to say it's bad. It's just, like, to me, it wasn't enough Star Wars. It was too, like, it was a good show. It was a good story. Like, great television. But to me, it wasn't great Star Wars. Like, and it just goes back to my philosophy that, like, it didn't involve the Force and it didn't involve the Jedi or the Sith. In any capacity. Probably had the least amount of that than any other piece of Star Wars media that ever existed.
But people loved it more than they did The Acolyte.
Oh, that doesn't... People like the fucking holiday special more than they like The Acolyte. The Acolyte was like a fucking travesty, dude. Like, The Acolyte... The fact that, like, they let that happen... They should have taken the fucking hit on that and not even put it out. They would have been better off fucking taking the hit and, like, that was so detrimental. Like, what do you think was more divisive? We're getting so off topic. Who gives a fuck, though? What do you think was more divisive? The Last Jedi or The Acolyte?
Ooh, I think... fuck, that's a really good question. That is a very good question. I honestly think that The Last Jedi knocked everyone down, Star Wars-wise. Like, knocked a lot of fans out of it. And then when they were just starting to come back in, The Acolyte fucking put the nail right in between.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's like 100% what
Dude,
happened.
it's exactly what happened. It's exactly what happened. And, like, The Last Jedi paved the way for all this shitty stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Like, The Last Jedi was like, hey, we're going to fuck everything up and totally annihilate Star Wars. And then it, like, allowed all these other pieces of media, whatever, all these other projects to come in and be like, we're going to fuck it up, too. Because
Yeah.
you
Because
guys
we took this one creative
you
liberty
did it
and-
first. Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Dude.
This Last Jedi fucking knocked everyone out. We all got jaded because we got three
everybody
movies
got, yeah,
within
everybody
3
was like,
years.
what the fuck? And then people slowly but sure, like, things weren't great, but, like, Obi-Wan was okay. Could have been a lot
Mando
better.
season 1 and 2.
Mando season
great.
1 and 2, Chef's Kiss. Season 3 sucked. But everybody was just like, okay, we're in a weird spot
we're-
with Star Wars, but it's still Star Wars.
Yeah, it's starting to come back. Like, the
And-
Razor Crest is cool. What is
Yeah.
Grogu's deal?
Yeah, and then The Acolyte came out, and it was like, oh, never mind.
Yep, fucking out. What is this calamari guy at the end of the season just fucking putting his hands on the wall? Like,
Calamari guy?
I meant Plagueis because no
He's
one
not
knows
calamari.
I know he's not
immune.
No, I meant like he looks like an he looks like Squidward. He looks like Squidward from SpongeBob SquarePants. You can't tell me I'm wrong. Yeah, he does. If you think that he looks like Squidward from SpongeBob SquarePants, comment on our Spotify.
He does not. Do you know what he even looks like?
Yeah, I do. You can't tell me if you put a nose on Plagueis, he doesn't look like Squidward.
I don't think you know what he looks like, bro. Images. You think that this looks like fucking Squidward?
Bro,
He has a nose, number one.
he looks like angry
Here he
Squidward.
doesn't.
Yeah, well, that's the essentially the design they went with in Acolyte.
I don't remember what this is from. I don't remember what that's from. That's what he has looked like forever, right there.
Throw a nose on that fucker, he's selling Krusty Krabs. But, like, there it
Squidward
is.
still works the register, dude.
Dude, he's never gotten
Still
out.
working the register, Squiddy.
Click the,
Not fucking Squidward, bro.
click that one.
This one?
No, the one next to it.
This one?
There we go. No, the one of him on the rock.
This is from
Yeah, I know it's what it's from.
Acolyte.
Looks
It's
like
just the
Squidward.
skin tone and the big forehead that's making you say that.
Yeah.
He looks cool. They did like a good job on the design, but this is just so weird too and so off kilter for what Plagueis even was. Like, what's weird about this is that like Squidward, Squidward,
You're fucking welcome. Yeah.
fucking dude, Plagueis. Did you read the Plagueis book?
No, I have not.
Dude, Plagueis, you should listen to the audiobook since you can't like finish books. But Plagueis, like, I mean, I'm not saying that he couldn't ever be here or whatever, but like, it was not his way to be like hanging out in a fucking cave, like lurking, it's so shoehorned in.
Yeah,
Like,
of course it was.
if they were gonna put him in, he should have been, it should have been in some fashion where they had like a political thing happening, and he was there as Hugo Damask, which is what his like
Right.
real name was, the person he impersonated. He was extremely powerful politically, and like, it's so weird that that's how they wanted to shoehorn him in. Oh, lurking in he was like Palpatine, where he hid it kind of in plain sight. Palpatine hid more in plain sight. He was more public, but like,
Yeah, but Hugo was like very
you know how have you ever heard like, I don't even know if they're conspiracy theories, but you know how like you hear about the people who are like the 1% of the 1% and they rule the world and no one knows who they are and shit like that?
Yeah.
Okay, that's like what Plagueis was. He was like the elite of the elite, and he owned like, he had all these ties to like the banking clan and all these major corporations and politicians and things like that, and he like made things happen by pulling the strings and pitting all these things against one another, and leveraging contracts like business wise, to like make shit happen for him. The fact that he'd be like lurking in a cave,
Yeah,
is,
it
like,
doesn't
the
make sense.
weirdest
It doesn't
fucking
fit the
thing.
character. But back to Skeleton Crew. And
Well, I don't even care. We could talk about whatever. Anyway, we got on this because we're talking about World Between Worlds.
I don't
right?
think it's out of the room of possibility.
Yeah, what if when they were like the barrier, remember the barrier?
Oh shit!
What if the barrier is like
a portal into the world between
some
worlds?
portal? Like, you can't tell me, all right, look at it this way. No matter what, no two planets are exactly the same. Even if it's like Jakku and Tatooine, they're different. Right? Like, there's geographical differences, right? So all of these planets, are you going to tell me all of them were literally, by nature, the same? Same forests, same fields, same oceans. It's not possible, right? Like, I could see, okay, yeah, they're building the same types of structures and shit like that, but that would have to mean they're identical planets, which is, like, not really possible unless it's the same planet
Unless it's
at different
manufactured.
points in time.
Or it could be manufactured.
What if, you know how they had all, at the end of the show, they had all of the columns that had the planet names on them? Mm-hmm. And it was in a circle.
I think it was. Wasn't it?
Yeah, like time, like a clock.
Don't talk to me about time. Don't,
Do you know what do you mean?
No, I know what you're saying. It was a joke because I sell watches. No, like, It's a good theory. Is anyone else talking about this? Like with the world within worlds?
I don't know. I haven't been watching anybody else's opinions on it, like, because I want to voice ours before we talk about other people's, and like we've been a couple days late on this one.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
I think it's the same planet at different points in time.
listen, I like that theory a lot. I don't necessarily disagree with you, but I also don't think it's out of the realm of possibility that it's just planets that were terraformed to pretty much be the exact same way that the other one was for the sake of efficiency.
But then the planet would have to be the same, like the terrain.
Again, if it was terraformed to be the exact same
terraformed.
thing that the other planets were,
I don't know about that. I don't know.
and you know what? We won't know until next week, unfortunately. Like, it's the fact of the matter is right now, like,
What if? Hang on. So, like, on at Action, you have these like two warring factions, right?
okay,
What if the kids doing that somehow inadvertently caused this to happen? You know how in like Back to the Future,
yeah,
like shit happens because they went back to the future, and it like causes this fucking shit to happen over, like, you know what I'm saying? Like butterfly effect. Is that the same as like the butterfly effect?
I know what
kind
you're
of?
saying, and it's funny that you say that because I've seen a few videos that like relate this to Back to the Future. Like there are parts of like Back to the Future, a lot, like for example, the SM-33 of like, and he told me if anyone came around asking questions to rip them apart limb by limb. That is pretty much what Biff said to Marty in Back to the Future. I want to say 2, when he goes to the future and he's like, "What do you know about the sports almanac?" And then Biff's like, "Some crazy old guy told me to, you know, if
Anybody
like,
came around asking,
to kill
oh
him."
yeah.
I think you might be onto something with Back to the Future.
So yeah,
like,
this kind of makes more sense. Yeah.
like if they left, and then because they left, and their parents are like, well, "Why the fuck can't we go after our kids?" It started some type of like civil uprising. That's a fucking good point. Cresse. Huh.
Or when they go back, it causes problems because they bring this guy back, and now they're coming back like after they originally went back, and maybe like that clan who wanted the kids was because they were like, bring us those fuckers. They started all this shit.
Yeah, we know who they are.
Yeah. Because like none of that was explained. Did they tell them? They didn't say why they were at war.
I just rewatched it. I have no idea. They didn't say why. They just asked, "Whose flag do you fly?"
Yeah.
And that the Hattons were like attacking, you know. Interesting. I mean, listen, I don't think that this takes away from the show. I do really still like it.
No, I'm not like disliking it or anything like that. It wasn't one of my favorite episodes, but it was kind of like just, it wasn't filler, but it was kind of like,
It was slow.
yeah, it was just slow.
It was very slow.
Yeah.
There wasn't like the same energetic like feeling. That
Yeah,
we
it didn't
got
have
in the
that
other ones.
adventure feel to it.
Yeah,
like
and I
the
think
last
that's kind of
three.
what took me out of it. I will say that the ending with SM-33 was fucking
Well, that was
terrifying.
cool. Yeah, he's fucking.
Menacing is
Yeah.
the word I want to use. Menacing. Yeah. Other than that, I mean, I'm excited for episode 5. It's got to be high stakes. The next 2 episodes need to be. We need to see some conflict.
Yeah.
I mean, we kind of got that in episode 3.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know what people are predicting.
It's all over the
I'm in
place.
the dark.
It's all over the place. Some people are saying it's going to be a direct tie into the First Order. Or
Well, that's what we were saying.
Yeah.
And I still think that that's possible.
I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility.
I wish our Crimson Jack thing... I still think that's possible. I don't care that he was a Legends character.
I would
Doesn't
like
mean
to
shit.
see that.
It has nothing to do with anything.
I would
Like, could it just be a callback to that? Yes. But, like, if it... What sucks then is that you came up with a really good fucking idea, or somebody came up with a really good fucking idea.
Yeah, I came up with a fucking
and,
good
like,
idea, and
yeah,
like,
it doesn't
didn't pan
exist.
out.
Yeah.
Which, again, leads me to believe that, like...
Well, it still begs the question, like, we haven't learned any more about him. Like, I thought when SM-33 was attacking the kids, he was going to use the Force to save them. Force push him, or whatever. No.
Yeah, he didn't.
Yeah.
Holy shit, he didn't.
He hasn't used it for anything other than, like, telekinesis, dude. It's like, how much of it does he really fucking know? And who
If he
taught
knows
him
anything at all.
this shit? I swear to God, if they're like, oh, he just taught himself how to... I'm going to be so fucking pissed.
No, he
Because
had.
it makes no sense.
There's got to be. He needs to have learned it from somebody. If he is the same fucking red herring of I taught myself the Force, I'm over it. I'm over it. I'm over Star Wars. Like, I'm tired of this. Like, everyone can tap into it without really learning how to wield it. Like, I just don't. That will pull me out of this show.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't think they would do that if Favreau and Filoni are writing it. They know too much about the lore to, like, put something like that in there. This is actually really important, dude.
What
I don't know if you know. I don't know if you know anything about this.
I don't want to look at the screen right now. I'm actually very worried about what you're about to present.
Look at what it says. A rare photo of Darth Plagueis creating life with metachlorians.
And
so
it's just
somebody else
Squidward's
thinks that it looks like
dancing.
Squidward too.
Get fucked. Oh, that's the best thing I've seen all day.
So stupid.
Like, trying not to hit my desk and like slam the
If you're
microphone.
watching on YouTube, you know what we're laughing at. If you're listening to the podcast, you're shit out of luck.
Or go watch it on YouTube and you
Yeah,
can
go
see exactly.
Watch on YouTube. Yep.
But yeah, that kind of wraps up what I have to say about this episode, Rich. It was, like I said, it wasn't filler, just slow. I think we need to learn more about Jodananu, aka Crimson Jack, next episode, and what the fuck these two factions are warring about. And that's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah.
It's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah, we'll find out next week.
Don't forget to follow us on TikTok at Wampa Diaries. We're also on Instagram at Wampa Diaries. Follow us on YouTube at The Wampa Diaries. Rate and review us on Spotify. And we'll see you guys. Oh, you won't see us, but we'll see you next week.
Hello there.
How you doing, you fire? So good to see you.
Oh, switch off.
Everything's under control. Situation normal.
We would be honored if you would join us.
I don't like that you're not wearing pants while you're doing it.
I'm wearing pants, relax.